Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. When I tell you we are in for a major clash in what it seems across all events at the London Diamond League on the 20th, which is Saturday coming, we are in for some epic showdowns, and the men's 100 meters is one of those events that I believe will be an absolute highlight as one of the last major meetings leading into the Paris Olympic Games. Now, something of note that I want to point out is that over the years, I have noticed that each athlete, based on their training regimen, will go into these last meetings in different shapes. Some of them are trying to hold their peak through to the Olympic Games and pretty much, hit that spot on. Some have reloaded pretty much and then will be hitting, that peak once they head into Paris. So the kind of racing that we expect from the athletes may differ. Doesn't necessarily mean that this will be their best performance at this particular meeting, but it certainly does give us an indication as well heading into Paris, the type of shape that some of these athletes are in. And as I said, the men's 100 meters is a humdinger. Now, first thing that popped up to me, trackies, is that Noah Lyles is on the start list, and y'all know a lot of people have been saying recently that Noah Lyles is hiding, Noah Lyles is scared. Well, guess what? He is hiding no more. He is here and he's ready to run. Actually, reports were that coming out of seeing, the phenomenal performances in Kingston, Jamaica, Noah Lyles was like, okay, I need to spend some more time in training. That's pretty much what happened with Noah Lyles, and he's ready now. He's apparently ready now to step out again to the world. And he has seemed to fall in love with London a bit, because he went to London, I believe, the first time last year over the 200 meters. And that was an awesome performance. I think that was a 19.49, right? Second was Letsile Tobago with his 19.50. Was an epic 200 meter race. Absolutely. So I suppose the thought process track is heading into this particular meeting, especially for Noah Lyles, is to put down a good time to boost his confidence heading into Paris, and also possibly turn back a few of the thought processes when you take into consideration the men's 100 meters and the fact that right now it seems as though the world is telling Noah Lyles that you ain't gonna win, brother. You're not gonna win this one, because there are a few athletes that are much better than you. One, namely, Kishane Thompson, and another one, Seville, right? So with that being said, my thought process seeing Noah Lyles here for London is, look here, London is one of the fastest tracks. Better believe it or not, London is absolutely one of the fastest tracks, and I think he's looking for a confidence booster as well, to match up against times that were already done, to show that, hey, I can actually match you, right? That's my thought process here. But anyway, along with Noah Lyles in this particular meeting is Zharnel, Letsile Tobago, Akani Simbine, Ackeem Blake, Louis Hinchcliffe, Jeremiah Azu, and Johan Blake. So those are the athletes that line up. Now, in terms of times that were done so far this season, now Lyles has done a 9.83. We have Zharnel that has only raced one time, and that was back at the Racers Grand Prix, which close to the end of the line, we did realize he picked up some kind of injury. So with that only, race 10.09, it's going to be interesting for me when it comes to Zharnel to see what type of shape he's in, right? I really have no expectations. I'm just hoping that he's recovered well, and will be able to tour at least the finals in, London. Well, not London, in Paris actually, right? And we'll see what he gets out of there. Remember, he won a bronze last season, so I'd love for him to make it again to the Paris Olympic Games. And remember what happened in 2021 too with that false start. I'm sure he wants to, right a few wrongs there, right? But for me, as I said, no expectations. I really just want to see where he's at. Now, let's see. Tobago comes in with that 9.99 second season's best that was done behind Kishane Thompson, right? So for Letsile Tobago, excited to see what he will do. He went on to run a season's best as well, or no, it wasn't a season's best, but a cruising 19.87, I believe, over the 200 meters. So he's definitely ready. And that 9.99 that was done behind Kishane, he was also, easy as well in that race. So it's interesting to see what will happen now that, some of the big guns that you're expecting to be in the finals will be in this race. I'm curious to see how well Letsile Tobago will go. And as I said, different training regimen for different athletes. So my expectation in these last few races is typically different for every athlete, right? Now, Akani Simbine is here as well. He's gone at 9.90. Now, I keep mentioning the 9.90 because he did run this time. Unfortunately, it's not recognized by World Athletics. So his fastest time so far this season is at 9.94. However, most recently, he did place third in that race against, again, Kishane and Letsile Tobago. Now, we have Ackeem Blake rounding into his perfect shape at the right time at our trials to place third, 9.91 seconds. He was very much emotional that he made it. I remember what happened to him last season. It was quite a shocker for me. So I'm happy seeing him, make the Olympic team. And honestly, I realized from earlier on, based on, how he was running, that they're pretty much trying to target the Olympic Games for that peak. We saw him run super fast earlier on in the season in previous years, but it didn't carry through for the rest of the year. So it seems as though his coach is getting it spot on with him this season, and I'm excited to also see him. Though I will say Jamaicans have a tendency to like to reload athletes leading into major championships, so my expectation is probably a bit lower for times, at least for an Ackeem Blake, right? Then there's Louis Hinchcliffe from Great Britain. He's run at 9.95 seconds. Now, what's notable about him is that he was the surprise NCAA champion. I remember watching that race and thinking, where did this dude come from, right? Came straight out of left field, but he's trained by Carl Lewis, so there was a lot of talk around that, right? My, thoughts when it comes to a Louis Hinchcliffe is, can he replicate these times, outside of, the NCAA system, outside of Eugene? That's my thought process here when it comes to a Louis, right? I do know that he also won the British Championships. He won it in a time of 10.1 something, I believe. So, not much expectations as it relates to him placing high in this race, though I'll be eager to see if he can, pull something off again in this particular race. After all, as I said, London is one of the fastest tracks in the world. Jeremiah Azu is also here. He has gone a 9.97 seconds so far this season. Just one of the new upcoming faces for Britain in the 100 meters, right? Slowly getting into his thing. And then we have Johan Blake also runs out the field with his 10.16 season's best so far this season, though I have to say in recent races he's pretty much down at the 10.3/10.4 range, right? So who do I think will take this race, right? As I said earlier on, I know a lot of people are laughing at Noah Lyles and saying he went into hiding, right? Post seeing all, the talk on social media about Kishane and how he's going to go down. But, outside of, the jokes, I really want to point this out about Noah Lyles, right? Now, Noah Lyles has always been a great junior athlete, but he hasn't necessarily been the best, right? And what I appreciate about him is that he's the type of man that will hold his head down and train. You know the saying, the heights by great men reach and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were outward toiling through the night. That's literally what Noah Lyles is giving me. Is literally giving me, while y'all are sleeping and joking around, I'm here in the night toiling to make sure that I can defeat Kishane Thompson. And you have to appreciate persons that have that type of mindset, and he definitely has that type of mindset. I personally see him coming out in this race and winning it. As I said, personally, I believe this is a race for him to lay down a particular marker to say to the world, I can do this. At least to America, I can do this. I can defeat Kishane Thompson. That's the vibe I get for him entering this particular race in London. So again, Noah Lyles, I have taken the win here. It's going to be interesting for second. I'm going to go with Letsile Tobago. I was pretty impressed with that 9.99 behind Kishane Thompson. Definitely let up towards the end of the line, right? And as I said, he got a better start, right? So with that said, I'm expecting a better execution from him in this race as well. Well, given the fact that Noah Lyles will be going guns blazing, I'm just, assuming that most people will just go along with the pace, right? So I'm expecting Letsile Tobago to be in there as well. I'm also expecting Ackeem Blake to be in the conversation as well. But as I said, typically Jamaicans tend to reload in these moments prior to a championships, so it's going to be interesting to see what type of Ackeem Blake we get. I hope we get an Ackeem Blake which can contend for second place in this race, but let us see. Also in the race, clearly for me, that will feature is a Akani Simbine as well. my thought process when it comes to Zharnel Hughes is, given his, caliber, I'm expecting him to feature, but given the fact that he's also coming off what was an apparent injury, I really don't know what shape he's in, so I can't call where he places. But just going off, his caliber, he should place high. But if not, then clearly it's because he's overcoming that particular injury. And then again, he needs the races. He definitely needs the races leading into the Paris Olympic Games 100%. So with that being said, trackies, this is my thought process for the men's 100 meters. I'm excited to see this particular clash. I believe it's going to be a really good one. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As usual, like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.